All right, let's jump right into a question that I bet you've thought about more than once. If you had to move, and your number one priority was just pure, simple safety, where would you even go? Well, today we're going to look at why for a whole lot of people, the answer is becoming Virginia.
But first, let's really think about that word safety. What does it actually mean to you? Is it just about having low crime rates? Or is it something bigger? Like being able to afford your life without stress, or knowing your town is ready for a big storm. These are the pieces we're going to put together.
Because when you start looking at that whole picture, one state just keeps popping up. And yeah, for 2025, that answer is Virginia. There's a really specific formula for why it's becoming such a popular choice, so let's dig in and see what makes it tick.
See, the key here is realizing that true peace of mind today is about so much more than crime stats. Virginia's appeal is built on a much bigger, more modern idea of what security really is. It's about having a stable foundation for your life, and that takes more than just one ingredient.
And here it is. This is what we're calling the Virginia Safety Formula. It's all about how these different things work together. I mean, think about it. You could live in a place with zero crime, but if you're constantly worried about money or what happens when a hurricane hits, do you actually feel secure? Nope. It's this specific combination that really makes the difference.
Okay, so that all sounds good, but talk is cheap, right? A formula like this only works if the data actually backs it up. So let's get into the hard numbers and see how Virginia really stacks up.
Let's start with the big one everyone thinks of first, violent crime. Virginia's rate is a full 22% below the national average. And that's not just a tiny dip. That's a significant drop that you can actually feel in terms of day-to-day security. And check this out. When it comes to property crime, the numbers are even better. We're talking 25% lower than the rest of the country. That points to something deeper, It suggests a real community stability. It's not just about you being safe, but your home and your belongings being safe too.
Now, of course, a statewide average doesn't tell the whole story. Some parts of the state are real standouts. You got Northern Virginia, which is all that economic energy from being so close to D.C., combined with incredible community infrastructure. And then you have the Shenandoah Valley, a totally different vibe, much more rural and peaceful, but still really economically healthy.
But it's not all perfectly uniform. Virginia is a diverse state, stretching from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Appalachian Mountains. And that means safety isn't a one-size-fits-all deal here. There are some really important trade-offs to consider, depending on what you worry about most.
And this right here is the biggest trade-off. You've got these beautiful coastal areas, but they come with a much higher risk of hurricanes and flooding. If you move inland, that weather risk practically disappears, but you're giving up that beach lifestyle. It really forces you to ask, what kind of security is my top priority?
Okay, so let's zoom in from the 30,000-foot view down to the street level. Where does this whole safety formula actually come to life? Let's look at some specific cities.
Just look at the variety here. You've got a place like Vienna, a classic, family-first suburb with amazing schools. Then there's Pawquecin, a coastal town that has absolutely mastered storm preparedness. The real takeaway is that you don't have to give up the kind of life you want, urban, small town, whatever, to find a really safe community.
But let's talk about the ultimate sweet spot, super safe and super affordable. Well, the data really shines a light on these three cities: Christiansburg, Lexington, and Harrisonburg. These are the towns where you get that incredibly low crime rate without the crazy high price tag that usually comes with it. It's a quality of life that's tough to beat.
So how do you take all this and actually apply it to your own search? I mean, whether you're looking in Virginia or literally anywhere else. We can boil this whole concept down to a really practical 3-question checklist you can use to size up any neighborhood. Here you go, 3 simple tests. First up is the night walk test. It's just a gut check. Ask yourself, honestly, would I feel comfortable walking around here after the sun goes down? Second, the resilience test. How ready is this community for its biggest threat from Mother Nature, whether that's a flood or a blizzard? And finally, the value test. Does the money I'd spend to live here actually buy the peace of mind I'm hoping for? And in the end, this quote really nails it. A safe community isn't some happy accident. It's the direct result of smart planning and strong systems. It's a really powerful thought, isn't it? When you're choosing a place to live, you're not just picking a dot on a map. You're choosing the entire system that's going to be there to support you.